Thanks for joining today's episode of Small Talks for Big Change, where we help simplify financial topics to help with your financial wellness. My name is Michele Enriquez, your host here at Patelco Credit Union, and today we're going to talk checking accounts.
Woo!
And we know it sounds so basic. Everybody's got a checking account, right? But when was the last time you kept your checking account honest? We're going to keep it fun today, keep it real, and talk with some experts who help our members navigate with checking account may be best for them. We're welcoming back one of our faves to the studio, Andrew Farrell, who's our community engagement specialist, and wanted to give a warm welcome to Uslea, Evangelista, who's the assistant branch manager of our San Francisco main branch. You guys excited for today?
I'm always excited to be here, Michele. Thank you for having me back.
I'm really excited. It's my first podcast ever.
First podcast!
Woo!
All right, guys, let's go. Let's get right into it. Checking accounts. Andrew, we're going to start with you. Tell us a little bit more about what you do for Patelco. What makes you a checking account expert?
Oh, an expert. I like that. So I work as a community engagement specialist with Patelco, which sounds exactly like what it is. I go out into the community and I engage. I work with community members at local events. I do financial education with high school and college students. And no matter where I am out in the community, my main objective is just to listen to people's individual financial needs and make sure that I'm finding the right fit for their lifestyle. So I've been a Patelco employee for about 6 years, and Patelco is also my primary financial institution. We've got 4 checking accounts at Patelco, and I myself have actually used 2 of them. I've also had an auto loan with Patelco. I've had a personal loan, had a savings account. I have a line of credit. The list really goes on and on. I am a Patelco lifer. I'm pretty knowledgeable about Patelco's products and services and all the benefits we have, not only because of my role in talking about these things when I'm out in the community, but also just because of my own personal use.
Do you like to sample?
I do. I do like to sample, yes.
What I have. I like that. Uslea, how about you? What makes you a checking account expert?
So I am the assistant branch manager at our SS Main branch. Been working for Patelco for almost 5 years now and in banking for a decade. Can't believe it. I've worked for big banks and now credit union, seen it all. So I'm a little picky with where I bank, especially with my checking accounts. Patelco is definitely up there. I'm not just saying that because I work in the branches. I deal with people who are new with banking or have a lot of questions with what we offer. And it's very important for me to listen to what fits their needs so that I make sure that they make informed decisions when opening accounts.
Well, I wouldn't consider myself a checking account expert. That's the reason I invited you guys to the studio today. I want to talk about how you guys personally got set up with your own checking accounts, because I have a feeling a lot of people out there might have the same experience I do and just got started at the place where their parents told them to bank and go get a checking account. I actually don't mind the checking account I have currently. I still have the one I opened when I was 16 when my mom took me down, but it might be time to just reevaluate and see what other options are out there. So I'm going to pick your brains about that.
That's what we're here for.
That is what you're here for.
I'm ready.
This is really just for my own personal use. So what was your experience started, Andrew?
I had the exact same experience as you. So I got my first checking account with my dad when I was 16. He just took me into his financial institution and said, "You've got a job now. We're going to get you an account open up." Luckily for me, my dad has always been a credit union guy himself. So I myself have also always been with credit unions.
That's
Lucky.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, never paying like monthly fees or having to maintain balance requirements or direct deposit requirements. For me, that's always been the norm. I find that a lot of times when I'm out talking to people in the community, they tend to start with a big bank that may have some kind of requirements or fees to keep the account open, and then they learn about credit unions or other checking accounts that are totally free, and it's like a light bulb moment for them. Like, why haven't I always been doing this? It was the exact opposite for me. I've always had that. Once I learned later in life that there are bank accounts out there that charge you a monthly fee just to have the account open, I thought, well, that's silly. Let's not pay that fee. Let's open up a free account and do it that way. I feel like I still have my original checking account that I opened when I was 16 also. It's with Right Pat Credit Union in Dayton, Ohio. Shout out Right Pat. But I also have my primary one with Patelco now as well. Making the switch was super easy from Right Pat to Patelco as my primary. When you open up a checking account with Patelco, they give you your full account number and routing number right there. It makes setting up direct deposit and all your automatic payments a breeze. But both those accounts, both my original checking account and this one, are totally free. So they align with that value of mine of not having to pay money unnecessarily. They're both also super easy to navigate with the mobile app, with digital wallets, with online banking. I feel like in general, banking has really evolved in the last couple of years, especially as far as like technologically it goes. And so it's really important for me that my checking accounts kind of also evolve with the growing trends that are out there.
Yeah, and let's talk about convenience for a second. We just recorded a youth month episode where we were talking about youth accounts and getting kids set up, right? And it's one of those things that might be on your list, but it might be on the bottom of the list, right? It's just not a life priority. We know it's important. We know we should do it. We know we should switch to an account that doesn't pay fees, right? But it's a matter of time. For a lot of folks, okay, so you're saying it's easy.
It's easy.
Painless.
Very easy, very painless.
Okay. Uslea, I could come to your branch and I could make this happen like frictionlessly.
Yeah, of course.
So how did you get started? What was your experience?
So my experience of getting started with a checking account was very similar to yours, Michelle. Got my checking account pretty early, maybe when I was 14. I remember it being so exciting because I can get my own card for purchases.
Having your first debit card is so cool.
Right.
You just feel on top of the world.
Yeah, it's like it has my name on it.
Yeah.
I can go to the mall with my friends and buy things with my own card.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yes. I still have that account too because it's just convenient to have and everything's already linked to it. But I've added a couple more checking accounts since then. One for my credit card bills and just automatic payments, and then the other one for random purchases. I like to have the separate checking accounts just in case there's fraud. I don't need to do an overhaul and redo everything. It's just easier to change that one checking account. I'm a little extra about it, I know, but it works for me. And the most important thing, I think, is to find what works best for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So first of all, I've never thought about having multiple checking accounts. I have multiple savings accounts, but not multiple checking. The checking is more accessible, so it's actually a better idea.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this idea of finding the right fit for you, right? So there's a lot of options out there. And we're not just talking about competition and now there's fintechs and all these other things, but there's also multiple different accounts at Patelco Credit Union. So Andrew, you're the best person to kind of just simplify, break down all the options. So help us understand all the different checking accounts options here at Patelco.
Give us the lowdown.
I will give you guys the lowdown. So like I said earlier, we have 4 different checking accounts. I'm going to break down all 4 of them real quick. So, strap in. Number 1, if no fees are what's most important to you, I think that free checking is probably going to be the best way to go. It's a totally free checking account. And that doesn't just mean there's not a monthly fee. It also means there's not a minimum balance requirement. There is no direct deposit requirement, no requirements at all to keep the account open. It's the account that I currently use. I love it. I've had no issues with it. It's fully compatible with Zelle, with Apple Wallet, so I can, put my thing in Apple Pay, and it's easy to use that way as well. We also have an interest checking option that is also free if you maintain an average daily balance of $500, or if you have a direct deposit of, I believe, $100 a month. Otherwise, that has a $5 a month fee. The interest that you earn for that is 0.05% annual percentage yield. So if you are able to organically achieve that $500 daily balance, that could be a good option for you. Why not, get a kickback of a few extra bucks a month?
Why not?
Why not? Some extra fluff in the checking account. If you do want even more perks or more benefits in your checking, we also offer what's called Plus Checking. So Plus Checking has a $6.95 fee, and that gets you all kinds of extra perks and benefits. Lots and lots of things you can get with this. You get Easy Shield identity theft protection, so a nice fraud protection partnership that we have. You'll get cell phone protection with that. You will get 2 free ATM rebates per month, and it doesn't matter how much the ATM fee is. I'm going to Vegas for a couple weeks for my birthday. Very excited. It's my first time. Yeah, woo! But I've heard out there that a lot of the ATMs, especially like in the casinos in Vegas, sometimes charge you $10 just to pull your cash out.
Oh yeah.
With Plus Checking, if you do that on an ATM, we will reimburse up to 2 of those per month for you. Doesn't matter if it's a $2 fee, a $20 fee. We got you covered. You get free credit monitoring with that. You get your quarterly credit score, your quarterly credit report. You get roadside assistance. The list really goes on and on. If you want more information about all the benefits you get with Plus Checking, patelco.org, go to our checking tab, and then Plus Checking. It has it all broken down right there. But you get a lot for that $6.95 fee. We're not just charging it for you for a maintenance fee. We want to make sure that the value is there. Our last checking account option is going to be student checking. This is another totally free account, so no minimum balances, no monthly fees. This is geared towards students ages 13 to 17. It's going to have lower ATM and daily purchase limits, so we want to make sure that we are teaching responsible habits. But the cool thing with this is that no parent is required to be on the account, so it does give the youth some kind of financial independence as they sort of start to transfer into adulthood with their finances. A parent can be on the account if that's the preference, but if the kid wants to have some kind of, financial independence, they're able to do so by themselves.
Okay, lots of great options, but just depends on, what you value most about how you want to do banking. So we've got a free checking account option, right? Like everybody has.
Yep.
Uslea is going to break down for us in a second some additional features of that free checking account. This interest account is interesting. We talk a lot about our money market accounts, but I think we sometimes forget about that interest checking account, and that's not a terrible rate also.
No.
And then the Plus checking, we hear a lot out in the community about the cell phone insurance being really cool, along with the identity theft feature. So that is great to know about. And then the student account is very specific. Right, my son is going to be 13 this year. He's already looking forward to opening his first account.
Getting that Apple Pay set up.
He's getting the Apple Pay set up, and he's really looking forward to that debit card that you're talking about, Uslea. But it's more about the tap feature. It has nothing to do with
the tap
name.
is pretty cool. The tap is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. So, okay, thank you for breaking those down for us.
Of course.
I think free checking is probably the most popular of all the four. I think what most people recognize. Right, but there's some other cool things about it too, some cool new things, right? Uslea, tell us about those.
Would love to. Okay, so the checking account, the free checking account is what I use here at Patelco too. Like what Andrew said, it's completely free, so no hassle, no keeping track of balances. You don't have to make sure that you have direct deposit, so it's a really great checking account for everyone. So some cool new features I want to talk about are roundup and prize out. Really excited about these things. So prize out, you can get bonus of up to 20% by just buying gift cards to places you normally go to through the Patelco mobile app using your checking account. So let's say you're taking the whole family to the movies, you can buy a movie gift card for $100, and that $20 bonus gets added to that gift card. So you're actually getting $120.
So I pay for a gift card for $100, but I get a gift card for $120? Yeah. That is crazy.
Because of the bonus feature.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a great way to get more bang for your buck. Full disclosure though, it's not always 20%. It just depends on the retailer's deal at the time, but there are a lot of retailers to choose from. Target is also in there, which I love. We love a Target run.
Everyone loves a Target run.
And then there's Roundup, which is an optional feature you can add to your checking account that helps you save money without lifting a finger. So what it does is it rounds up your purchases to the nearest dollar and puts the change in your savings account. So for example, you use your debit card to buy coffee for $4.50. It will automatically round up that purchase to $5 and put the 50 cents in your savings.
Nice.
Right? And if you want to get extra aggressive with it, you can choose to multiply your automatic savings either 3 times or 5 times the original roundup amount. So if you opt into the 5 times roundup option, for example, instead of rounding up the 50 cents change on that cup of coffee, it'll move $2.50 into savings automatically. So you don't even have to think about it. You're just purchasing stuff
auto-saving
and then saving money.
That sounds great.
So cool.
Okay, let's go back to this prize out thing, because you had me at Target. You had me at the movies too, because a movie trip nowadays for a family of 4 is over $100.
Pricey.
Okay, so I go into the mobile app. The feature is totally free. So I go in there, and then every day there's new retailers, and they can include...
Yeah, I was just scrolling on the app actually this morning, and there's just so many. I'm just kept
There was
scrolling.
Ulta, there
and
was
scrolling.
Target, there was AMC.
There's
Oh,
Adidas,
speaking my
it's
love language.
Nike, all of the big brands.
Okay.
So this could be a good gift too. Well, it's an electronic gift card, but
okay.
it's
So I find a deal that I like. This almost sounds similar to Rakuten and some other things out there. So I go on there, find a deal that I like. I can purchase it directly from my checking account.
exactly.
That's amazing. And then you get the gift card via email. So if I wanted to gift it or send it to somebody, I could also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like an electronic gift card. You can just share that
Okay,
with whoever you want to give
It
it
sounds
to.
like for every birthday, I have an option.
Extra
now
money.
at my fingertips. Okay. I've also heard that Safeway is a retailer that's on there too, and with grocery prices, where I could use some
Mhm.
extra bonuses for food purchase and grocery purchase.
Yes, stretch that dollar.
There you
Absolutely.
go.
Everything's so expensive right now.
So this roundup feature sounds really cool too. Without naming the bank that I still have from when I was 16, they have a feature very similar to roundup, and within my app, it's pretty cool. It shows you how much you've saved in a month and then over a year too. I think that's a new feature through the Patelco app too, but for me, it's an average of about $250 I save every year. And it's one of those things that's just out of sight, out of mind,
Yeah.
right? In your example of the 50-cent roundup, you're not gonna miss that 50 cents.
Right.
And would I have probably saved that 50 cents without the roundup feature? Probably not. And it accumulates so quickly. It's just an easy way to save. And 250 doesn't sound like a
Yeah.
lot, but at the end of the year,
And you
when
can-
Christmas rolls around,
And you
it's
can
helpful.
choose to put that money into the money market savings account so you can get more interest.
Grow interest on top of that too?
Yes.
That's wild.
Giving you all kinds of ideas. Wow, you guys are here today. Okay, so last question. Andrew, when you're teaching financial education in the classroom, what surprises you most about understanding of checking accounts and how to choose one with our young people?
So I think a lot of the young people, the youths, if you will, are in the same position that we spoke about earlier, where all they know about checking accounts, if they even have one, is just whatever they opened up with their parent when they, first got the account open. I think a lot of the young people don't know there are different types of checking accounts that are out there. They just stick with what they do know. I will say a lot of them are really interested in like the digital banks and the fintechs and all the new ones that are popping up. And fintechs are great because they don't have physical branch locations. They're able to pay a little bit more in interest rates and lower fees and things like that. And fintechs are for sure a good way to go. But I do want to reiterate that brick and mortar banks are still cool too. They're still fun too. Financial institutions that have physical branches, especially credit unions, they can still offer the same great rates, but they're also totally full service. So if you ever need a mortgage or a home loan or a personal loan or any of those other cool things that I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, you have all that under one roof. Plus you get the face-to-face access. So I'm still, call me old-fashioned, but I still like a good old-fashioned four-wall financial institution.
And we love people visiting our branches.
Yeah.
We like to see faces.
Well, I was just going to say, too, you get the opportunity to go sit down with somebody like Uslea and just have a conversation and maybe weigh those options where you might not have
Yeah.
that if you're sitting behind a computer screen trying to figure it out yourself. Okay, let's go around the room one more time. Let's share one littlest known fact about any one of those checking accounts. Uslea, we'll start with you.
I have more than a couple because this is a lot.
Go for it.
This really surprised me when transitioning from big banks to Patelco. We print debit cards in branch, and they are free up to 2 cards for the year. So if you lose your card and need a new one right away, head to one of our branches. I also love that our checking accounts are Zelle compatible because I hate having to wait for transfers to hit my bank account.
Yep.
And with Zelle, that's instant.
Instant.
And speaking of not having to wait for money to hit your account, direct deposit with Patelco checking account, it can hit your account up to 2 days earlier. So if you get paid on a Friday, it can hit your account as soon as Wednesday. So that's really cool.
That's awesome.
Sometimes we forget about those in-branch card options, right? I think a lot of times now we're a little fearful of having debit cards mailed to our house, number one. I don't want to wait for 7 days or, minimum 7 to 10 days too. So just another advantage of
Right.
brick and mortar, to Andrew's point.
And if you're going on a trip, you can just go to the branch and get a card. You don't have to go on a trip with no card.
With no card.
Awesome.
Go
Okay.
see Uslea.
Andrew, how about you? Littlest known fact about our checking account.
So I want to talk about the co-op shared branch network because I personally use it myself a lot. Like I said earlier, I have my other credit union account with Right Pat Credit Union, and I have one with Patelco Credit Union. And it's cool that I can use both of those interchangeably. So how that works is I feel like one thing I hear from a lot of people is they are maybe a little bit more trepidatious about moving their accounts from a large bank to a credit union because they hear that, I can, I can find a bank account ATM anywhere in the country. I can't find a Patelco ATM anywhere. Patelco is actually a part of this co-op shared branch network that is, I would say, like 99% of all credit unions are a part of, meaning you can use any of those credit union ATMs completely interchangeably without any fees. It is the largest ATM network in the country, so larger than any individual bank's ATM network. We've got over 30,000 completely fee-free ATMs that you can use. Many of them are also full service as well, so you can do deposits and withdrawals and do a lot more transactions than just pulling out some cash. And there are other fee-free ATMs that are also in this network, like 7-Eleven, Circle K, Dunkin' Donuts, Costco is in there.
Costco.
Yeah, girl,
That's
Costco.
so good.
Next time you're getting
I
your
love
rotisserie
Costco.
chicken, go pull out $20. Why not? You can find all of them on coop.org is what I go to. So just coop.org. On their website, there's an ATM branch locator. You can click that and just put in your zip code and it'll tell you all the ATMs you can use on there. There's also a feature where you can put filters as well. So if you want to find an ATM specifically that like takes check deposits or one that is ADA accessible or whatever, you can filter in what your needs are and it'll pull up exactly what ATMs you can use in the locations you're going to be traveling to.
Great stuff, you guys. I always tell folks, if you can't find an ATM, find a 7-Eleven. There's got to be a 7-Eleven nearby.
Exactly.
You always get cash back too at a lot of retailers. I don't think many people are still using ATMs and getting cash, but when you need it, you need it. I'm going to thank you guys so much for coming into the studio today. I think I need to make a move. I think I have everything I need to make a decision now.
Do it.
And for everybody out there wanting to see all the features, all the details, and the rates, you can find more information at patelco.org/checking and see all of the options out there that Andrew and Uslea were talking about today. Thank you guys so much for being here today. That concludes today's episode of Small Talks for Big Change, where we help simplify financial topics to help with your financial wellness. Patelco Credit Union is insured by NCUA.